all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better, some have gone, and some remain. All these places had their moments with lovers and friends I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I've loved you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before, I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my I love you more.
Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Shay McKay. I'm one of the ministers here at Church-Unitarian, and I want to welcome you into this space today, into this time and place where we come together as a community of friends and family to remember and celebrate the life of a beautiful person who touched our lives in many ways. To begin today, we're going to have the family light the chalice. And in Unitarian Universalism, we light a chalice whenever we gather together as a community for many reasons. One is that the flame reminds us of the warmth of love that we share when we are community. Two, the flame reminds us of the fire of commitment that lives within us, of making the world a better place for all. And three, the flame within us of the sacred, of the holy that dwells within all of us. And so I will invite Evie, Linda, Andy, and Don up to light our chalice today. We light this chalice in memory of life, love, and loss, in honor of Millie, of her beautiful life, trusting that the light of love never truly dies, that the flame continues through our memories and our stories of her.
see the insert in your bulletin if you would like to join along. Some bright morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to that home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. When the shadows of this life have gone, I'll fly away. Like a bird from these prison walls I'll fly. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Oh, how glad and happy when we'll meet. I'll fly away. No more cold iron shackles on my feet. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joys will never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. I'll fly away. I'll fly away.
Now is the time for us to be here together in our sorrow, in our grief, as we mourn the loss of someone who touched our lives in so many ways. The poet John O'Donohue says that when we lose someone we love, life becomes strange. There is an absence in the presence of our lives where they were and no longer are. The tapestry that forever held Millie woven into our lives now has a hole in it. And so we grieve, and grief has many reasons and purposes in our lives. In one way, grief is a way for us to continue holding on, to hold on to the memories and the stories of Millie and her presence in our lives. And in another way, grief is a tool for us to begin letting go. It is how we begin to heal from the loss and how we learn to live with that absence in our lives. I want you to know today that there is no one right way to grieve. We all do it differently. We all come here together today with different feelings, different emotions, needing different things from this time together. And that is perfectly okay. Whatever brings you here today, whatever you need from this time with loved ones, I hope you find it here. We are not isolated beings. We have to come together in connection. Millie knew this more than anyone. A builder of connections, that we must depend, rely, and lean on each other in times like this. And so I welcome all of you here today, all of you, into this space, into this place, into this time of celebration of a beautiful life and this time of grief over a life lost. I will now invite Liz up to do our first reading.
Poem, Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things.
Our eulogy today was written by Linda, I think with contributions from the rest of the family. And I am just the messenger today. How does one write a eulogy for someone like Millie? What are the right words to depict her life, her impact, and her stories? Words mattered so much to Millie. They were her favorite companions. Words in her retelling of so many stories, in her letters and phone calls and visits with friends and family, in her connections with you, to another person and then another. Words that she shared with you that communicated her deep love and connection to you. And through these words, we hope we can bring to light just a bit of why she mattered so much to all of us. Millie was a storyteller. She would retell you the same story, not only to ensure that you could tell it to your children, but also to share and relive the same joy that she experienced. She shared frequently about her late brother, Gary, and the story about how Gary helped her son, Andy, when he was young and afraid, while flying a kite on a windy day, and how Gary put rocks in Andy's pockets so he wouldn't blow away. The story was titled, Uncle Gary with Rocks in Your Pockets. She kept Gary alive through this and other stories. She spoke about her late friend Linda and how they would uncontrollably get the giggles in grade school, and how Linda's mom, Mabel, would giggle just as much alongside them. She loved that she could laugh uncontrollably without reprimand and have a bonus mother to honor her humor. She would share how lucky she was to be raised in a 3-generation farmhouse, and how her sweet honey grandpa would call to her in Czech and give her so much love and care that he was nicknamed Honey Grandpa because of it. It was in retelling these stories that we learned how important it was to love care for others, and to laugh. It was also how we learned about our ancestors and how to keep them alive. Millie was a connector of all people. She would meet somebody in Minnesota and realize that they are a relative to a friend she knows in the Czech Republic. And she would pursue that inquiry until she knew for certain that this was true. She knew more about how the Jones family was connected than her own husband did. But it wasn't as if she had to search these connections out. She just paid attention, listened, watched, shared her stories, and these people would come to her. As her dear friend Mary coins it, she was a good bohemian witch. On a cruise ship in Barcelona, she was convinced she spotted her granddaughter's friend walking on by. When she tapped on her husband's shoulder to tell him who she just saw, he found that unbelievable and said, "No way." Later, it was confirmed that indeed it was her granddaughter's friend, Sula. Because truly, Millie did not miss any of those encounters. Why did these things happen so frequently to Millie? It's because she loved so many people deeply, and she loved making those connections. And of course, because she was a good bohemian witch, she connected all of us. Her Caring Bridge website had over 9,000 visits. The texts, phone calls, emails, and letters, and loads of homemade food when she fell ill with pancreatic cancer were infinite, as all of her love she had bestowed to all of you was bounced back to us. A few weeks after she was diagnosed, she said, "I need to write to my peeps." We told her that she has written to all of them, and they've received all of her cards, but her love never stopped growing. As she wrote to her husband, Don, on their final 55th wedding anniversary last June, "Don, I love you more every year." Her love was infinite, boundless, and unconditional. This is all through Millie's stories and deep connections. Millie was a rebel, a salt of the earth kind of rebel. She definitely followed some, but not all of the rules. The most obvious rebellious actions were walking past the picket lines, showing up at protests with banners, radical bumper stickers and yard signs, and campaigning for local candidates that deserved her vote. And she lived solidly by the values she was raised by, from honest and hardworking farmers. She was a Democrat forever and always, and consistently reminded us that DFL has the word farmer in it. But the most rebellious sides of Millie weren't necessarily visible in the political sense. She always defended children, believed that those who were down on luck should be loved even more. Her love was altruistic. She believed that the youth were usually the most fun and shouldn't be so distrusted. She believed that board games are 1,000,000 times better than board meetings, and thrift stores are where the true treasures are. When her husband Don was the mayor of St. Mary's Point, her favorite slogan was, "Let the dogs run free." As she believed in dogs and people roaming freely. She didn't follow expiration dates for food or medicine, so good luck if you get sick eating leftovers, as the medicine won't work either. As she aged, she became even more rebellious, and if you were her grandkid, you're the luckiest. No bedtime rules, no need to wake up early, and ice cream for breakfast is delicious. And a grandma who swears is one rebellious woman. She was one cool grandma, and she would spend hours playing with you and never worry about any chores or laundry lists. To be a rebel in today's world also means making homemade raspberry rhubarb jam, canning your own pickles, growing your own garden, giving homemade and hand-me-downs as Christmas gifts, hanging your clothes to dry, patching torn jeans, and wearing threadbare jackets. You knew Millie the moment you met her, a true rebel because her beliefs and her behaviors were aligned. She was a rebel because she was authentic. Millie was an adventurer, a traveler. She planned so many trips with her friends and family, and perhaps the biggest trip of her lifetime was to meet her Krocak family in the motherland, the Czech Republic. She brought her dad, Vladimir, who still spoke fluent Czech, and they met their ancestral family along with her brother Dale. She made new friends, hosted exchange students, and earned a bonus daughter, Donda, and a bonus son, Philip, all from the Czech Republic. She was very proud of her Bohemian heritage, and when she got off the trains in Germany, which always left on time, and on the trains in the Czech Republic, which always left late, she giggled when she noticed the conductor had 2 different colored socks. The seats faced each other, which meant she could converse with the other riders. Goody, she thought, I am right at home. She hitchhiked out west with her husband Don, and they began their married life together in a new part of the country they had never explored. San Francisco, Sonoma, Redwood Coast, Yosemite. Her adventuresome spirit never aged and led her down trails in Spain, up mountains in Alaska, into the villages of Guatemala, to weddings in India and islands on Lake Vermilion, the Boundary Waters, and the Pacific Northwest. She was one of the founding mothers of the ski women who have gathered every winter for the past 30 years in the North Country for cross-country ski adventures. She always accompanied her children and grandchildren in their adventures and never grew too old or too tired for tents, rustic cabins, and hostels. And of course, she still stayed in touch with fellow travelers she met along the way. Her address book of friends and family has hundreds of names. Once she knew you and became your friend, it was a lifelong friendship. Her loyalty was fierce. Millie loved to have fun and to laugh. She loved Oli and Lena jokes. Here's one of her favorites. Oli died, and Lena called the local paper to inform them of his death. Lena told them, just write Oli died. They told Lena, oh, Lena, you get 5 words for free. She said, okay, Oli died, boat for sale. Millie thought that was particularly funny. We wonder why. But it wasn't just jokes that kept us all laughing. It was her spirit that remained truly young and joyful. All ages loved her. When she volunteered at her grandkids' elementary schools, all of the kids would come running and want to sit next to her. As a nurse, the students she saw in her office kept returning because she cared. She gave Band-Aids, ice, juice boxes, snacks, and of course her unconditional love. She saved so many lives. Even in her younger years, in her even younger years, raising 2 rambunctious teenage twins, Andy and Linda, she still found their wild and raucous friends to be so much fun. After running feral around the neighborhood, she'd welcome all of the twins' friends, sometimes almost 20 teenagers at the house, unexpectedly. She'd bring out watermelon, tacos, and all sorts of food, because she believed food and company were perhaps the most fun, and she still giggled at their stories and juvenile behavior. The refrigerator was always full, and sharing her food with family around the table was the best of times. She brought her kids to her family farm throughout the summers, and the farm kids, nieces, and nephews frequently visited her. As a school nurse, she took full advantage of summers off and would bring Linda, Andy, and Evie to the farm where they roamed so free they almost didn't survive. We believe that Millie is one of the founders of free-range parenting, and she got even better at free-range grandparenting. She was a pro at this kind of stuff, and why not? It's more fun to be free. Millie was a survivor. Although it was her third cancer, pancreatic cancer, that shortened her life, it didn't shorten her spirit. She remained a survivor. Millie survived breast cancer in her 40s and again in her 70s. Her second round of breast cancer prompted her to convince her daughter Evie to get early screening for breast cancer. And this, in turn, saved Evie's life. She was determined to fight both breast cancer diagnoses, and she did. With the diagnosis of pancreatic cancer, she immediately started to see things differently. As she was processing this diagnosis soon after, she said out loud, 77 isn't so bad. Some people have had such shorter lives. She recounted how lucky she's been to have had such a full life. Yet she also told us that her greatest sadness was not being able to see her oldest grandchild, Quinn, graduate from high school. She told us that she really does hope she can see it happen still in her afterlife. It's hard to measure a life in numbers because, in our opinion, she lived 3 lives. Heck, maybe 4. How could she have touched so many people and experienced so much in just 77 years? It's impossible to think it's just one lifetime. She did live such a full life because her life has touched us so very much. According to Ralph Waldo Emerson's definition of success, Millie has been extremely successful. Her final words 2 days before dying were to her hospice nurses when she said, "I am okay." These final 3 words are very sacred to us, and perhaps the most important words she could utter to tell us that in turn, through this earth-shattering grief and sadness, we are also going to be okay. We are forever grateful to the hospice nurses, specifically Nurse Casey, for guiding us in allowing her final days to be so peaceful. We'd like to conclude with a beautiful passage written by Julie, a friend of Linda, Andy, and Evie's. She writes, "The Jones house was always a refuge from the chaos of life. A peaceful, cozy spot among trees just steps from the St. Croix River. And Millie was the heart of it all. A Minnesota farm girl with the heart of a warrior and the nurturing hands of a nurse and gardener. She was one of a kind and a powerful influence in my life. She'd show us books of poetry signed by Lawrence Ferlinghetti and tell stories of her freewheeling youth living in San Francisco. She was proud of her Czech bohemian roots and always had a strong sense of self, full of life, conviction, and compassion for others. She saw us, encouraged us to chase dreams and adventures, stand up for what's right, and care for our community. On one adventure while picking apples with Linda and Millie, Millie was distraught that so many apples had already fallen to the ground uneaten and overlooked. So we each picked one up and bit into it, and before long we noticed how many apples Millie had already rescued. Her bag was so full it was nearly bursting, apples spilling out everywhere while she kept trying to shove them back down. And then came the laughter, deep, contagious, unstoppable. We literally fell down laughing until our sides hurt, drunk on apple juice. If you want to honor Millie, go for a nature hike. Cultivate a warm, inviting home. Giggle at fart jokes. Support a family farm. Sit around a fire telling stories. Be true to yourself fully and completely. Never do a quick goodbye. Love fiercely and rescue all of the apples you can. To quote the great poet Bob Dylan, take care of all your memories, for you cannot relive them. Love you forever, Millie, Mom, Nana. Thank you for all of the gifts you have given us." I invite you now to rise as you are willing and able and join Mary and Ahmed in singing Imagine, which is printed on the order of service.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
You may be seated. Andy?
See, these are my readers. Just take a look at all of you for a second. Thanks for being here. To all of you, each of you. Mom, dearest mother, when I sit with you or lie down in your room next to you, your sweet, tender, gentle, powerful heart, mind, and spirit fill up the room. And it washes over us and through us and is a nectar that only you provide. You're a perfect example of what the ancient Zen teachers call grandmotherly mind. Your presence doesn't just touch us, though. It also reaches out and lights up the courtyard, the halls, the city blocks, downtown, and the great wide world. I wrote this to my mom in a card, and it was based on time kind of sitting and breathing and just being present with her down at the Alina Cancer Institute. Used to be University Hospital, just down there below the bluff on Smith Avenue, downtown. Some really sweet times there, hard and sweet. So I just also wanted to say there's gifts that terminal illness brings. Life feels more important, urgent. Our thoughts, words, and actions and their impact feel multiplied. Mom, Millie, she had her struggles, hard times for sure. After she retired from work, there were seasons, inner seasons, that Millie endured. At times, depression came and stayed longer than she wanted it to. World events, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, took their toll on her spirit, as did other sea changes in politics, and the bad news in the world added its weight to her too. Thankfully, volunteering, traveling with and to visit family, seeing her growing crew of grandchildren, keeping in touch with longtime friends, farm visits, adventuring on the pontoon with Dad on the St. Croix, all these things kept her buoyant and gave her joy. And I know there's countless other stories that aren't in here that you guys all have helped cultivate and create as well. So Millie, she stuck with giving and trying to be of help to others, even during some of those tougher inner seasons, even when it required a lot of gumption and extra energy of her. Well, over the nearly 2 months of time when Mom knew she was sick, something changed. I think a lot of you noticed that too. Her desire to hold hands, be touched, and have people snuggle with her came alive. I could sit with her and hold her hand for hours and she wouldn't pull away. She did the same with all family and friends who came by. And she allowed us kids to be DJs in her space and accepted our musical offerings with gratitude and appreciation. When there were 3 of us fawning over her at breakfast one morning, seeing if she wanted a sip of hot coffee or a bite of key lime pie, we're all doing our best to entice her. We've got her like surrounded and just trying to get her to try a little bit of this and that. She raised her arms up and reprimanded us. This is like Saturday Night Live. And I don't think she took a sip or a bite that time. It was a good delivery. She brought a lot of cheer and humor to this difficult period. Another little gift she gave me was how still and dignified and grounded she was during this time of cancer and illness. At one point, I was asking her if she was bummed out. My awkward attempt to start a conversation that gave her a chance to talk about her feelings, how she was doing. She simply said she wasn't bummed. She asked me if I was, and I said that I was, yes. And I backtracked, I'm bummed because of your health situation, not because of you. I want you to know it's not your fault I'm bummed, but I am bummed. I stammered, trying to be honest, but not make her feel guilty about it all. We sat in silence for a bit, and then summoning a little courage, I just asked her straight, how are you? How are you? She said, peaceful, very peaceful. I'm just very peaceful. She then gently closed her eyes, and the matter was settled, with no resistance or hesitation. I'm sitting there like, wow, who's the patient? Who's ill? She also gave me permission to do little chants, offerings of support, and play Buddhist songs and talks for her that normally she didn't care for. I was allowed to have daily practices with my mom, a stout, non-religious person, over the last several weeks of her life. That is the most surprising gift she offered me. To live, and especially to die, with dignity, humor, a great, gigantic heart, treating us all with respect and kind attentiveness. Those are the presents that the cancer and illness brought, and those are the presents that cancer cannot break. Shay's gonna take us home.
In closing, as my auntie Lana said when she visited Millie for the last time, getting in real close to her, looking her in the eye, she said to my mom, "Millie, I love you. I love you so much. You're a gift to my life."
Thank you.
I said to you at the beginning a few of the reasons why we light a chalice whenever we gather in a Unitarian Universalist space. Flame can be a reminder and a symbol of a lot of things in our lives. In addition to all of the things that we remember when we light a chalice, one of the things that flames can honor is the light of people's presence in our lives, the light that someone like Millie brings into the world. And so I'm going to invite Millie's grandchildren to come up now, light a candle in her honor, and share a memory of her that they all have.
I don't really have a favorite memory of Nana. I have a collection of them. One of my favorite ones is to remember when we grew Orbeez on the kitchen counter, and she thought they were candy. So she decided to try some. They were, quote, interesting but good. Or when we went tubing at Johnny's, and she said, oh no. And of course, all of the pontoon trips where we were served watermelon, chips, and ice cream, courtesy of Nana. And all of the holidays, Thanksgivings, Christmases, and sleepovers generously hosted and provided for. In the end, I'm still sad, but we all are. But I know we're glad she gets to spread joy somewhere else. And even though it will be a while till I see her next, it'll be well worth the wait.
Hi, my name is Mila, and I'm so lucky to be the namesake of the best grandma ever. I have so many amazing memories of her. One of my favorites is a couple of years ago, Anya, Nana, and I were in the kitchen serving up some ice cream in her favorite bowls. We decided to grab some mini marshmallows from the cupboard to top it off with. I declared that I was going to put 20 mini marshmallows on it. And Nana said, "You can't put 20. I was nervous that she was going to yell at me. But then she said, "You have to put 30. So this just showed how sweet and caring she was for us and generous. Thank you.
My favorite memories is once at a camp she volunteered to be a nurse or else the camp would be canceled. And every day when I woke up, she would be out on the field yelling my name and waving.
Hi, my name is Alden, and my favorite memories are playing board games with her. She would always bring a new board game to play every visit, and we had a lot of fun.
Hi, my name is Louise, and one of my favorite memories of Nana is whenever it would thunder, she would make delicious thunder cake.
Do it for the youngest grandkid, Maggie. Her favorite memory of Nana is whenever Nana would come over, or Maggie would come over to Nana's, they would always lay in bed and read books during bedtime, until Maggie would always say, "Can we close our eyes?" And then they'd proceed to go to bed.
Thank you. I'm going to leave these candles lit for the rest of the service. This is the light that Millie brought into this world. This is the light especially that she brought into the lives of her grandchildren, and that they keep her alive through with their stories and memories of her. I now invite Dave up to do his reading.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. Whew. The words I'm about to read are thoughts that came to me when I went to visit the family, driving from home to St. Millie's Point. I happen to have a special relationship with the former mayor of St. Millie's Point. And so, as of today, it has a new name. Who's with me? All right, thank you. This is called Millie's Garden, to our favorite farm girl. Like every good farmer, you planted the seeds. You watered them. You fertilized them. You watched them sprout, and you watched them bloom. The roots run deep and strong. Your garden is in full bloom now, Millie, with kids, grandkids, family, and friends. Millie's garden will spread the love for generations to come, the same way that you spread the seeds with your own love. I'm proud to be but a single flower in Millie's immense garden. We can all in this room be proud to be a flower in Millie's special garden. Thank you, Millie. We love you.
As we move into closing this service of remembrance and celebration and grief. I always struggle to find words to close a beautiful service like this. What do you possibly say to help people move on from such a loss? There was a minister here named Arthur Foote back in the 1960s, and he wrote a short essay called Open-Eyed, Open-Handed that I think completely encapsulates Millie and her life that I'm going to read for you now. Let me be open-eyed, observant of the perpetual miracle of life and love on this fragment of a star flung across the infinity of space. Appreciative of Earth's symphony of color, harmony of shape, and ubiquity of beauty. Alert to the wonderfulness of little children, the strength and dignity in ordinary people, the unsung heroism. Let me be open-eyed and alert to all the gratifying nuances of the human story, to every intimation of divinity in the lives around me. Let me be open-eared, tuned into all the varied music of the world, to human melodies and the songs of wind and water, insect and bird. Let me be responsive to the call to adventure, the summons to high endeavor, the appeal to conscience, and to the falling of human tears. Let me be open-minded, receptive to unfamiliar thoughts, to strange viewpoints and new ideas, making doubly certain to give fair hearing to all that challenge my complacency, my prejudgments, my assumptions. Let me be open-handed, ready to share Earth's bounty, to meet people, stranger as well as neighbor, with trust, expecting to find them where they ought to be. Let me eschew all miserly clutching, all grasping at life as though it were not as blessed to give as to receive. And let me open my mouth not in foolish boast or much speaking, but to utter the word of courage, the word of cheer, the word of sympathy and hope, and the word of love. Our lives become strange when we lose someone. There is an absence in the world now that Millie is gone. An absence that we fill with our stories of her, with our memories, with the light that we remember and continue shining in her honor. And an absence in which we keep her alive by living the life that she would have wanted us to live. As you take time to both grieve your loss and celebrate her life, take life into your arms with open curiosity the way she did. Find in every day and every person inspiration and beauty. Find compassion, comfort, joy, and delight. You'll probably find some heartbreak, and that's okay too. Most importantly, I hope that you find courage to face death honestly, the way Millie did, and a greater appreciation for life. A greater appreciation for life with an enthusiasm that mirrors hers. May we all be as gently fierce as she was in facing whatever was put in her path. May we all nurture the spirit of community and connection, the depth of relationship that this woman created all around her. May we all bring as much laughter, delight, playfulness, and unseriousness into the world. And may we let her life and love continue to inspire us, continue to hold us and strengthen us as we begin the process of letting her go. The family chose a closing song today by Muse called Glorious, which was Millie's favorite song, played very often, and they wanted it played in its entirety and totality, so we're just going to listen to it. We're not going to make Mary try to sing it. And listen closely to the words, because they were very, very special to Millie and her family. And after the song, I will give you directions on what to do next. This isn't it. This isn't it. She said it's coming. No, they say no. Let's see. All right, I'll just keep talking for a minute. I'm going to give you directions for the reception now while they try to get the family is giving me lots of looks. That was Millie joining in here. Say, ha ha, guess what? Okay, to the dinner reception, which is being served immediately following the service at St. Paul College. So what's going to happen is after we get the song playing, I'm going to invite the family to process out like they processed in, and they're going to go directly to St. Paul College. There's not going to be a receiving line here at the church. So you can then follow and get in your cars and go. It is 235 Marshall Avenue. It's all printed on your order of service here. And you are welcome to go, and immediately after the service, the family will be.
Oh, what a day, glorious, gather round. There's nothing better than a friend. Oh, what a day, glorious, smell of rain has hitched a ride upon the wind. I've got good friends to the left of me and good friends to my right. Got the open sky above me and the earth beneath my feet. Got a song inside my heart that's singing all in like a sea. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day, glorious. All the clouds have gathered round the tops of trees. Oh, what a day, glorious. Pitter patter, falling rain, I can't believe. All that's green lifts up its leaves, singing water, come on in. We've been waiting all these days, praying you would come to quench every yearning in our bones. Water with your life begins. Oh, what a day. Oh, 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 oh. is a clear river of receiving. All is well. Ooh, this is a friendly mystery. Oh, what a day!
What a day!
Glorious. Baby blue jay squawking in the cherry tree. Oh, what a day!
What a day!
Glorious. Deep in the night, we had a raccoon robbery. Pitter patter, little paws have left their footprints all around. Pitter patter, evidence some fruit has fallen to the ground. Pitter patter, sings my heart at the thought of what's to come. What a day! Is believing. Has the wings of faith. Is a clear river of perceiving. All is well. Ooh, this is a friendly mystery. All is well. Ooh, this is a friendly mystery. Oh, what a day!
What a day!
Glorious. Under the sky, we slept last night, just you and me. Oh, what a day!
What a day!
Glorious. The waning moon, our cycle is almost complete. We've got good friends to the left of us and good friends to our right. We've got the open sky above us and the earth beneath our feet. Never fear, the birds are singing. Even endings can be sweet. Oh, what a day! Never fear, the birds